Bitcoin suddenly experienced a sharp decline. What happened? If you're interested in knowing more about this, please keep watching. First, let's examine the position I opened on Bybit. Currently, I hold a long position in Bitcoin worth around $750,000. The entry price was approximately $28,500. This emphasizes the importance of the entry price. If you entered at $29,000 or even $30,000, this sudden decline could potentially trigger your stop loss or protective stop, which is risky. However, it's important to note that this decline may just be a temporary spike and not a potential downward movement. Now, let's discuss the profit. Currently, it's around $43,000. When converted to new Taiwan dollars, it's approximately 1.3 million NTD. After deducting funding fees, it's around 1.2 million NTD, which is all right. So, should we close this position? If you believe the profit is excellent, I invite you to click the Bybit link in the description of any of my YouTube videos. By completing KYC and depositing $100, you will receive an immediate gift of a $1,000 Bitcoin contract position. Now, let's delve into what actually happened. I recently read a report. You may have some Chinese apps with news updates. However, those brief messages typically provide only limited information. And that's all. We need more in-depth news. Let's take a look at this report from CoinDesk. CoinDesk is a trustworthy media outlet with a long-standing presence in the cryptocurrency industry, and they have a large audience. They also covered the FTX incident previously. So, let's see what it says. The headline reads, Bitcoin tumbles on report of SEC, saying spot BTC ETF filings inadequate. In other words, Bitcoin experienced a sudden drop because the SEC stated that the filing for a Bitcoin spot ETF was insufficient or inadequate. This suggests that there may be missing or insufficient information in the filing. Additionally, the report mentions that BlackRock and Fidelity have submitted applications for Bitcoin spot ETFs. As a result, Bitcoin has been experiencing a significant surge in the past 2 weeks. Well, it's as they claimed. Let's take a look. In the first sentence, SEC. It should not be ETF. It must be a typo. It should be SEC. SEC said recent filings to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF are inadequate. Well, this news caused a significant drop in Bitcoin, with a decrease of over $1,000. It's quite an exaggerated decline, considering that Bitcoin had been gradually rising before this sudden drop. We can't say it was a sudden surge, but it's all right to say it gradually rose. The drop hit a price change of more than $1,600, which is incredible. Let's take a look. The SEC mentioned that the submitted application was incomplete and not comprehensive. All right. The key lies in the surveillance sharing agreements, which didn't have enough detail. The following statement is quite important, in my opinion. The asset managers can update their applications and refile. It means the asset managers have the option to update their applications and resubmit them. After making the necessary revisions, they can do it. However, the current submission has some deficiencies in certain areas. All right. The SEC said that previous ETF rejection orders were due to some issues with the surveillance sharing agreement. It requires a market with a significant market size to be approved. All right. This means that if the market is too small, it could be susceptible to market manipulation. In other words, if it is a larger crypto whale or institution, it could easily manipulate the market. As being stated, wannabe market manipulators. If it's what was mentioned above, having a surveillance sharing agreement and operating in a larger market would make it more difficult for a single institution to manipulate market prices. Their main intention is to protect the clients of these ETFs. If the market is easily manipulated, there would be a significant risk for investors who have purchased the ETFs. All right. The spokesperson of the SEC stated, "We would decline to comment on the possibility of individual filings." It means that they won't accept any individual filings. Well, Recently, many companies, including BlackRock and Fidelity, have submitted applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs. The SEC does not provide specific responses to each company's filings. However, they mentioned that the current filings have some deficiencies, but can be updated and resubmitted. Well, I reckon that since several companies have submitted applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs, making some amendments shouldn't be a significant challenge for them. They are likely to reapply after addressing the deficiencies and completing the necessary improvements. I believe they will submit a new application. Looking at the last sentence, it is worth noting that the filing of a spot ETF by BlackRock led to a significant increase in Bitcoin's price from around $26,000. $26,000 is not really accurate. It should be increasing from around $25,000 to $31,000 in just a few days. It's literally a few days. This is different from the previous attempts at Bitcoin ETFs, which have been discussed for a long time. The spot ETF is not a new development. It has been a topic of speculation for quite some time. They took it as major bullish news. However, let's see. This time, the situation is different. Before BlackRock, there were many different products that had been applied for ETFs by other companies. However, all of these applications were unsuccessful. BlackRock's previous success rate in ETF applications for various assets is quite impressive. Many of their previous applications were approved, indicating a high success rate. Therefore, BlackRock's application for a spot Bitcoin ETF is considered significant news, as it had a substantial impact on the price of Bitcoin. However, it should be noted that while many other companies have also applied for spot ETFs, BlackRock's application stands out due to their impressive track record and the scale of their managed assets. Therefore, I believe that this news primarily influenced the short-term market sentiment, resulting in a significant drop in Bitcoin's price by over $1,000. However, based on the current situation, it is not yet clear whether this bullish trend has ended or caused significant damage. Although the trading volume is significant, which is true, we have only 3/4 of this 4-hour candlestick. I mean, this single 4-hour candlestick starts at 8. It's 11 now. So, 3 hours have passed. We still have 1 more hour to accumulate volume. It is even possible for the trading volume of this bearish candlestick to exceed the largest bullish candlestick during the recent uptrend. This highlights the magnitude of the situation. However, let's shift our focus back to the technical analysis perspective and see if the price has truly broken below the designated range. If it does break below, then we should exercise caution. As of now, after briefly testing lower levels, the price has climbed back. Alright, thank you. You're welcome to like and share my videos and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the little bell button to show me your greatest support. If you're interested in pure technical analysis, you can also check out my previous video, where I provided detailed insights. If you'd like to join my line group, please leave a comment below the video. Also, you're welcome to use my quantitative website, which recently underwent updates to its profit-sharing feature. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.